Welcome to this video on the elimination diet and the grieving process. My name is Ashley Anderson, registered dietitian, personal trainer, and owner of Move Fully Nourished, where we specialize in nutrition and exercise coaching using an integrative approach to help active adults achieve optimal health, healing the mind, body, and spirit. Our integrative approach is designed to empower you as well as transform your lifestyle and relationship with food forever. Over the last several weeks, I've been discussing specific diets that we use to help our clients reduce inflammation and the medical nutrition therapy approach that we use to promote healing. It's very case by case and person dependent, but what all these types of diets have in common is the elimination process. Elimination of certain foods or food groups, changes in how we eat, social gatherings, impacting ordering food outside of the home, and adjusting to a new normal. The process of changing diet and lifestyle to make health the number one priority comes with more than a few emotions to process. So today I want to talk you through about the grieving process. This process may be not only about your experience with your diagnosis, but also now with the new steps required to heal. The 5 stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And you might have challenges around social adjustments and sometimes in the way that relationships can be strained by chronic illness. They can also be strained by such an intensive healing protocol. Some might find that there is a lot of struggle around letting go of certain foods, while others experience the intense fear of not following the diet changes perfectly. It's important to note that if you think your patterns of eating are becoming disordered, it's important to get the right kind of help so that you can go through the healing process as is intended and not allow it to become another stressor or burden on your emotional load. The good news is that you're not alone. I myself have been through this process and my health journey with IBS and Hashimoto's, and I've helped hundreds of clients do the same. And I'm here as living proof to tell you that I'm now happier, stronger, healthier, and more confident than I ever was knowing how to fuel my body best and what helps me feel amazing. Okay, so let's discuss the grieving process. First, there is denial. Denial to avoid feelings, and it's often seen with health conditions and a new diagnosis. I've worked with many people who tell me about the symptoms that they experience and that they're just normal, that's always been like that for them. Or for example, a person will say that they've had chronic diarrhea and that's normal for them. Or another might say, I have always had a sensitive stomach as long as I can ever remember, even as a kid. Or we'll have people come to us being diagnosed with an autoimmune condition for years and they just try to ignore it until complications arise. And that's where the dietitian comes in to help. But oftentimes it's so hard to accept that our bodies are not functioning the way that they should or the way that they used to. And we can't begin to heal our bodies unless we acknowledge that something is wrong or our normal is not normal. So let's talk about the second stage, which is anger. Anger to displace feelings, dealing with illness or irregularities in our bodies can make us upset or angry, and we have honestly every right to be angry. I often hear people say, why me? What have I done to deserve this? Or how can my parents not have addressed this when I was a child? Or I have terrible genes, or my body has failed me, or I'm just so frustrated. It is important to release the anger or frustration that you're feeling and not just stuff it deep down, only to explode on someone or something as the frustration builds. With our one-on-one clients, we want to know what's going on, how our clients are feeling. However, we do want to be constructive with how we want our clients to express their feelings. Maybe it's through artwork or poetry, writing down thoughts in a journal, or movement as a form of therapy. We also feel it's important to look at the big picture and help our clients begin to take ownership of their situation, knowing that we are here for support every step of the way. This is where we start to look at new information or a diagnosis or lab finding as observations and discuss potential solutions to get to the root. The third stage is bargaining, to control feelings or avoid fear. As we move through this stage, there's the potential to pick up some negative behaviors to cope with a diagnosis. On one end of the spectrum, you may decide that because you have one food allergy, you're cutting out all 5 foods that might somehow, make this one allergen tolerate better. Or you may I'm going to do a juice cleanse to cure this disease. Or maybe you decide working out a couple hours a day might help reverse your diagnosis. Or you find a supplement online and it's going to save you. It's important to be curious and explore to find your solution, but remember that there are lots of things and lots of fluff getting in the way of your root of your ailments. And when it comes time, long-term habit changes and finding peace within your situation and yourself is what works. The fourth one is depression. Depression and sadness, just like the feeling of anger, are very valid feelings to have in this situation, and it's important not to go down the rabbit hole or allow the slippery slope of thoughts to take you in the direction of doom and gloom. Expressing your sadness by talking to a therapist, a friend, family member, dietitian, doctor, or other healthcare professional is a great method for getting your emotions off your chest and out of your head. It's okay to cry. It's helpful, to do some of the same methods that I talked about with anger, using artwork to express feelings, journal your thoughts, move your body in a way that feels good, get some fresh air and sunlight on your face, or dream about adventures that you want to go on. Now, let me also say it's not dumb or silly to cry over the fact that you can't or are choosing not to eat peanuts, eggs, gluten, dairy, and being very conscious of the foods that you consume. Or you're starting to take medications to control blood sugar. This is a huge change and you're allowed to mope, but we also want to make sure that if it persists long term, that you seek out the professional help that you truly need. The final stage is acceptance. Acceptance that we face our feelings and embrace the lifestyle changes. It may take you a very long time to arrive at acceptance and embrace the adjustments that you've had to make. And because you accept your condition one day doesn't necessarily mean you're going to accept it the next. It could take years, and that's okay. As long as you take steps towards getting there, you are succeeding. Because when we accept the loss of our healthy selves, we are finally able to move on and take action and care for ourselves in ways that we need in order to live full, meaningful lives. So remember this, action beats intention every time, and every little bit counts towards a healthier you. A few things to keep in mind during this process as well is to avoid perfectionism, set boundaries for yourself and for others, resist the comparison to others syndrome, find encouraging, supportive professionals to help you, and practice daily gratitude. You will get to acceptance, an ability to embrace your new life. You just have to believe it is possible and have the right tools to help you see the big picture, take ownership of your situation. And at Move Fully Nourished, we help create clarity in the chaos for our clients and support each person along their journey. And we are here to tell you that it's possible. We take the words and feelings that make it seem impossible and help our clients see that word from a new perspective. I'm possible. Thank you so much for your time and listening to this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. Have a great rest of your day.